Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Al's Bets. I'm your boy Big Al. Today we go through Week 3's NFL games. We got 16 of them to go through. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. The way I do it here, I go through each game. I give you my reasoning behind the over-unders and the spread. So without further ado, let's hop into this week's slate of games. All right, first game of the week, Thursday Night Football. We've got the New York Giants. We got the San Francisco 49ers. You guys know the drill, blah, blah, blah. The over-under set at 44. For this game, I like the over, and I like the plus 10.5 on the Giants. I know the Niners, they've been dominant. They've been murdering everybody. It was a close game with the Rams, but McVay, he knows how to play Shanahan. They were the coach together forever, so that's why that game was close. I just think the Giants kind of showed a little something. No Saquon. They're saying he's questionable, but he's not going to play. I just think there's something in there where the Giants are going to be able to they're going to be able to put up a fight, and I think they keep the game within 10. 10 is just so many points, and when you can get it at 10.5 like it is right here, I should be using the mouse, not my hand, but right here, 10.5, it's like, it's hard for me to not. So I like 10.5, and I like the over. Just the Giants should score some points, and the Niners have scored like 30 a game. So I feel really good about that one. All right, next game up, Buffalo Bills, Washington Commanders. We've got the Buffalo Bills going to the Commanders. Commanders 2-0. Bills are 1-1. Over-under 44 again. I like the over again. 44 is not too many points. Josh Allen just put up 38. The Commanders got to 32, I believe. I love the Commanders here to cover plus 6.5 at home. That's too good for me to pass up. It's almost a touchdown, and I think they keep this game close. They've been close in every game. I mean, they won both games, but they've kept the games close. They were getting murked early in the last game, and they came all the way back. So I like the Commanders, and I like the over. Obviously, if you put those together, like I like to do, you get a plus 267, so $10 makes you 36. Simple, really. All right, next game, Falcons at the Lions. I like the Falcons here. Falcons also 2-0. Detroit just lost a close one to Seattle in their home, so they should bounce back, but I get 3 points with the Falcons. You could take 3.5. You could buy an extra half point just to cover, so you'd still hit the bet even if they win by a field goal. But the Falcons kind of hung in every game. They beat the Packers. They were able to come back on the Packers. The Packers had a lead for the whole game, basically, and then the Falcons came back at the end, and they were able to make some noise. So I like the Falcons here. This over-under's tough, but I'm going to take the over just because the Lions scored 21 week 1. They just had 31 this last week. They put up points. They're a team that knows how to score. They've got weapons. Goff throws the rock around. The Falcons have shown that they can hang around in games. Bijan Robinson is crazy. Kenneth Walker had a really good game against Seattle. He had 2 touchdowns and a bunch of yards. So Bijan's going to do way better than Kenneth Walker did. And Kenneth Walker had a good game. And I think that O-line for the Falcons is better than Seattle's. So I like the Falcons plus 3 on the road. And I like the over. Next game, Broncos-Dolphins. Now this one's going to be controversial. You could wait. So early on in the week, you want to bet the dogs early because the spreads tend to tighten as the week moves on. So you like the dogs early, you like the home teams late. Well, not the home teams, but the favorites late. So I'm going to take the Dolphins here, but you could wait till Saturday and you could get them later and you potentially get better odds on them. But I like the Dolphins. They've boat raced everybody. They're going to put up points every week. They're one of the best offenses in this league right now. And I like over 48 simply because they're going to put up 30 by themselves. And we saw the Broncos. They went down early and they got up to 21 points like really, really fast. So they had a game script, they went in and it worked. So I think they're going to score. They're going to be able to score. But the Dolphins are just too freaking good. They really are. Like, they just score so many points. So I like minus 6.5 for the Dolphins. They're going to win by a touchdown, in my opinion. And I like over 48. Next game, we've got the Texans and the Jaguars. This is another one. I don't like the Texans here. It's a lot of points. But the Jaguars beat the Colts by 10. And the Texans just lost to the Colts by over 10. So the Jags should swamp these guys. And the Jags just played the Chiefs. They were held to 9 points, but it's the Chiefs. And they just had Chris Jones back. He was active. He was doing his thing. So I wouldn't overreact to that. I think the Jags bounce back big, and I think they win by over 10. They only have to win by 10. I think they're probably going to win by 20. I like the over here again. I'm all about the overs. 44 just doesn't... I told you guys in the last video, 40 to me is like a benchmark where I like it. Like the Saints game, we almost hit. It was 37, and I took the over, and they got to 37, right? The 39 was the line. But 40 points is just each team getting to 20, and if one team kills the other team, it's like, okay, you got to 30, they get to 10, here's your 40. So 44 doesn't seem like a lot. The Texans are going to keep getting better each week as their team progresses and as they learn how to play, as a team. They got a rookie quarterback, but they got a good running back, they got a good defense. So they're going to learn to play better, and they're going to score more points. It's just a little slow going out the gate. So I like the Jags to come back, boat race them, and I like the over. And it's in Jacksonville. It's a home game, so I like it even more. So Colts Ravens. This one's tough. Also with that Jags game, bet it late in the week just because the line could tighten. I don't know if it will, but it could. So if it does tighten, you maybe get them for 8 points instead of 9.5. But so far this line hasn't moved. Colts Ravens. I like the Ravens here. Once again with this one, you might want to wait till the end of the week, see if that line tightens at all. Because if it drops to 6.5, I'd hammer that. The Ravens have been dominant. They're 2-0. The Colts are 1-1. They've looked good, but their quarterback hasn't been able to. Their new quarterback, their rookie, he hasn't been able to stay in a game. He gets hurt, he goes out. He gets hurt, he goes out. And he was just concussed. So I don't know if he's going to play. If he does play, I think this thing flies past the over. I think they get to 60-something points. Lamar looked great on Sunday after week 1 where he didn't, but they still won 22-9 or whatever it was against the Texans. Granted, it is the Texans. But the Colts aren't a great defensive team. I mean, they let Jacksonville score 31, and the Ravens, in my opinion, are better than Jacksonville. So I think I'm taking the Ravens. I'd take them minus 7.5 even. I think they win by 10. And I like the over. So over minus 7.5. Next game, Titans at the Browns. Okay, this one's questionable. This one is the one that I'm thinking, I love the Titans here. I don't know if I should love the Titans here. I don't know why I love I do know why I like the Titans here. Okay, the Browns can't score on offense. They just lost Nick Chubb. They're not going to be able to run the ball. They're at home again. Deshaun Watson just didn't look good. They played the Steelers, and the Steelers' defense beat them, which I don't think the Titans' defense is necessarily going to beat them. This over-under is 39.5. So like I said, I like overs. Over 40, I just hate I hate having keep a team under 40. So that's why I take the over. So I'm taking over 40 on this, and I'm taking the Titans to just keep the game close. I think the Browns probably win. They probably win by 1 to 3 points. I just don't think they'll win by more than 3. Hence, I'm taking the 3.5. Now, it does feel with 3.5, it feels like they want you to take the Titans. So maybe they expect the Browns. It feels like that. Because, why would you give us the extra half? If you thought it was a toss-up, you just give us 3. So it does feel like they kind of want you to take the Titans. I'm going to buy in and take the Titans anyway. So I got the Titans in the over. Next game, Saints-Packers. This one, I'm taking the Packers. I'm a Packer fan. They should have beat the Falcons. The run game, the defense just didn't show up, and then they got too conservative at the end of that game. All they did was run the ball in the fourth quarter. They had 3 opportunities with the ball, run, and then the final 2 minutes they give it to Jordan Love, and they're like, hey, you haven't thrown it for the whole quarter, but go ahead and try to get us down the field. And it was 4 plays, and they were out. And the game was over, and they lost by 1. So I like the Packers here, and I like the over. The Saints have looked good, but they haven't been dominant. So I think, and their defense was supposed to bottle up Carolina. Carolina got 17 on them. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Packers win it by at least a field goal, probably a touchdown. And so I'm taking the Packers minus 2 at home. Home opener in Lambeau, by the way. They've been on the road for the first 2 games. Same with San Fran, which is why that 10.5 is shaky, because they've been on the road this whole time. This is their home opener, game 3 at Levi Stadium and at Lambeau Field. So I like the Packers at home to win by at least a field goal. I think a touchdown, and I like the over. Next game, Chargers-Vikings. Oh, I cut that out. My bad. Chargers-Vikings. I like the this one. Listen, both teams have scored a ton of points. Kirk Cousins has the most stats as a fantasy quarterback so far this year. They're really good, and now they're a home dog. I get +1 taking the Vikings. I'm not going to do it, though. The Chargers team is more loaded. The Chargers team, for whatever reason, can't win games, but the Vikings have shown they can't win games either. Both teams are 0-2. So I like the Chargers to go in there, but I think you just take the money line on the Chargers. You're getting -108, and you have to give up a point, or you just take -112. So I take -112 and then pair that with the over. This game is hitting the over. The Vikings have scored. The Vikings had 31 or 27 last week, something like that. 24. I think it was 24. Yeah, they had 24. And then week 1, they had a bunch of points too. So they score points, and we see the Chargers. They've scored points every single week. They've just, because Justin Herbert's a dog. He's throwing 300 yards a game. Eckler might be back. I don't even with him gone, they almost won that game. So I'm taking the Chargers, and I'm taking the over. And I'm not taking spread on that game. I'm taking the money line. I'm taking money line Chargers. And even if that line changes, say it goes +2 for the Vikings, say it flips back and you get +2 for the chart, I'm still taking the money line Chargers on that game, and I'm taking the over. And my Vikings, they're just they aren't it for me this year. So next game, Patriots Jets. This one, I love the Jets as a team. I think they're a stacked team, but they don't have Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, we know he's gone. They have Zach Wilson, and they showed against the Cowboys that they are not a team that can go on the road and beat anybody. Now they're at home. I like the Patriots coming in. I like the over on this game as well. I think the Patriots are going to get to 20 or 30 points, and then I think the Jets are going to be able to get 10 or 12. So I like -3. Patriots should win this one going away. Their defense is good. The Jets' defense is good, so it could be under, but 36 is just so low, man. I can't bring myself to take an under on that game. So it could very well be a 17-16 game or like a 16-19 that gets to 34, 30, 35 points, but I'm taking the over and I'm taking the Patriots -3. Next game we've got is, now we've entered the afternoon slate, right? We've got Panthers at Seattle. Over-under's 42 points. You know what we're doing here. We're taking the over, Pachow, and we are taking the Seattle Seahawks. You could wait till the end of the week for this one too. Now, all these ones where when you're taking the favorite, you can wait till Saturday to place your bets if you want to. Like, because if the line's going to change, it almost always changes to. It doesn't usually widen the gap. It usually brings it closer. So you could wait, but I'm taking the Seahawks. The Panthers did not look good. They did cut. I mean, they got to within 3 with the Saints, but I think the Seahawks can boat race. Like we saw them against Detroit on Sunday, they could score a lot of points. So I think they're going to go up against this Panthers team, and they're going to score a lot of points. So I like the over, and I like -6. I think the 42 is because they know Seattle's going to score. I mean, according to this line, they're expecting Seattle to win by 6, right? I think they're going to win by 10, and they put up 30 points. Then all they got to do, I mean, if they win by 10 and they get to 30, that means the Panthers are going to be at 20, right? So I think -6 is safe, and I think over. But if you want to wait till the end of the week, you might get 5.5, might get 5. You know, it should tighten a little bit. Okay, this one, Bears Chiefs. Let's see here. I don't know what I'm feeling with this Bears Chiefs game so much. I think I'm taking. Okay, Chiefs haven't looked good, right? So 47.5 is a decent amount of points. I'm going Bears plus 12.5. They don't need to win by a lot. They can lose the game. They can lose by 10. They can lose by 11. 12.5 is so many points. And if you're taking the under, that's only 47.5 points. So that means that the Chiefs are going to have like, you know, if they stay under 47, I mean, the Chiefs are at 30, and then the Bears get to, 20, 30, 20. Well, that's not even an under. But you know what I'm saying? Like 12.5 is so many points, especially with an under. So I'm taking the Bears plus 12, and the Chiefs don't blow people out. They just don't. Like they win 14-9, 17-9. Like they don't blow people out. They keep games close. And the Bears are 0-2, so they're going to be desperate, and hungry dogs run faster. So I'm taking the plus 12.5, and I'm taking the under. I know it's in Kansas City, but I'm taking the plus 12.5 in the under. All right, next game, Cowboys Arizona. I'm going Cowboys all the way. I'm not going to take -12. I'm hoping that line tightens, so I'm waiting until Saturday to bet that game, or potentially Sunday morning, depending on if you're going in, if you're going to bet, you know what I mean? But I'm taking the Cowboys Saturday, and I'm taking the over. I think they get there. The Cardinals can score. They've scored in every game. They had 12. They had 12 in the first game, and they got up to 21, I believe, before halftime in the other game, and then the Giants had to come all the way back. So they can score points. Josh Dobbs is pretty good. So I like the Cowboys -12, and I like that over. Next game is the Steelers at the Raiders, Monday Night Football. Okay, this one is a tough call. Very tough call. I'm taking the Steelers on the road in Vegas. Vegas isn't really a home game because it's Vegas, so all the fans just are like, hey, an excuse to go to Vegas, let's go. So there's going to be a lot of Steeler fans there. The Raider fans will show up because it's Vegas, and the Raiders will go there. But it's going to be not as much a home crowd as it is like a neutral field. So I'm taking the Steelers plus 2.5, and I'm taking the over. Devontae's going to score a lot of points. George Pickens is going to score a lot of points. Pickett's going to play well. That line's going to play well. Najee Harris is going to be able to run on him. I think Raiders, Josh Jacobs is going to bounce back. I mean, Nick Chubb had almost 75 yards before halftime before he hurt his leg. So I think Josh Jacobs comes in. He had a terrible game last game. I think he's going to come in. He's going to run for 150 yards on these guys. So it's going to be high scoring. I just think the Steelers will be able to keep it close. The Raiders haven't really shown that they have a great defense. They just got murdered, too, by the Bills, 10-38. So I like Steelers plus 2.5, and I like the over. Next game. Eagles, Bucks. These are the two Monday night games. Another doubleheader on Monday night. Okay. Eagles, Buccaneers. Oh, see, this line already changed. It was Bucks +5 yesterday, and now it's +4.5. I like the Bucks here. They're 2-0. They know that we like the Bucks here. Home dog. They're underdog on the road. They're going to take that personally. Baker's cooking. He's at 300 yards in each game so far. So I like +4.5 for the Bucks. I like the over because the Eagles get to 25, and they got to 25 week 1, and they got to 32, I believe, week 2. 31, 32 last week against the Vikings. They played on Thursday, so they've got a lot of rest, which is probably why they're being favored too. And they're the Eagles. So the over's going to hit. The Buccaneers put up points. The Eagles put up points. That over's hitting, and I like +4.5. They're 2-0. They're cooking. Mike Evans is just running all over the place. So I just think they're going to have their hands full. The Eagles are trying to contain this Bucs team. So I like 4.5, and I like the over. All right, next game. Final game of this slate. Rams-Bengals. Okay. This line actually got bigger because Burrow's, I guess his leg's gotten a lot better, but he's hurt. So he's, he re-aggravated his calf, I guess. I love the Rams here. The Rams have looked so good in their first 2 games. Obviously, they lost, but they covered against the Niners. I love the Rams +2.5 here, and I love the over. The Bengals are finally going to start scoring. The Rams' defense isn't, incredible. They were able to bottle up Seattle, but once again, that's a divisional game, so you can't put a ton into that. And then they were also able to score they were able to score 23 points against San Fran, who, is a dominant defense. They're up there with Dallas and the Eagles are supposed to have a really good defense so far. They've kind of let people score on them. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about this one. This one I feel very confident. +2.5 Rams and over 44 points. I don't think that one's going to be too tough to hit. I think that game comes out. I think the Rams the Rams could get to 44 by themselves, man. They're so fast. And they don't have Cooper Kupp yet. But Stafford's been balling as well. He's just been hucking the rock all over the place. And a healthy Stafford is the guy that I'm going to bet on. So the Bengals are going to be good. The Bengals are a good team. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, we know all the players, right? But it's just they aren't playing their best ball right now. So I got the Rams to cover. I think they're going to win it outright. So you could get ballsy, take the money line, +114, juice it a little bit. But yeah, I like the Rams a lot in this game. If they're going to give you 2.5 points, you take the 2.5 points. And how you doing? Keep it moving. So anyway, those are the picks. So let's jump into this 10-pick parlay real quick, right? So what I like, I'm not going to put the Giants-Niners game in there. I don't like to do Thursday. We'll just stick with Sunday's slate. So you can win on Sunday, lose on Sunday. It doesn't really matter, right? Okay, so I got 2 for you, okay? So we're going to do one with all the heavy favorites, and we're going to do one with all the heavy underdogs. So you could do $20 if they both hit. They can't both hit, obviously, because of this. But anyway, so we're taking the Commanders +6.5, and we're taking the over, okay? I love that. We're taking the Falcons +3, and we're taking that over. We're taking who was the other team? Titans +3.5 and the over. We are going to take the Chargers were +1, so I'm going to throw them in there. We're taking the Chargers -1 and the over. That's 8. We need one more team. We are going to take the Bears +12.5 and under 47.5 against the Chiefs. Those are those 10 picks. So you've got a Bears bounce back game because they need one. Hungry dogs run faster, so they're going to try harder. But it's going to be an under game because the Bears defense is going to show up and the Chiefs don't blow people out. And they're going to cover 12.5. I'm fully confident in that. All right, then we're going to take the Chargers to win a close one against Minnesota, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. They're going to be scoring a lot of points. We're going to take the Titans to win against the Browns. They're going to cover. I don't think they win, but they'll cover the 3.5. And we're taking over 39.5 because it's less than 40 points. Falcons, we're taking +3. We're taking the over. And then Commanders, we're taking +6.5 and the over. That's $10 to win $6,800. If you put $10 on that. That's a 10-pick parlay. All right. Now, we'll clear the slip here. Boom. Clear all. Yep. All right. Now, this is the other one. If we want another one, this one's all the favorites. So, we're going to take the Dolphins -6.5, and we're going to take the over. And like I said, with this one, since it's all favorites, you could wait till the end of the week and see if those lines tighten up. But -6.5 and the over. Then we're going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars and the over. Then we're going to take the Baltimore Ravens and the over. Then we're going to take the... I don't know if I want to throw Green Bay in there. We're going to take Seahawks in the over. Come on. And then we're going to take the Cowboys and the over. Click, click. Boom, boom. And that, my friends, is another $10 to win you $6,500. So we've got 5 unders, No, we got not unders. 5 underdogs on the spread. 5 dogs and all the overs except for the Chiefs game, which will be an under. And then we have 5 heavy favorites, basically minus 12, minus 6. Seattle, Cowboys, Ravens against the Colts, Jaguars against the Texans, and Dolphins against the Broncos. And all those games we take the over on. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is hopefully $12,000 into your bank accounts. That would be very cool. Anyway, that's it. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Good luck.